Does God think that women should have equal legal rights in a male-dominated society? Welcome to Bearded Ministry. My name is Josh Nichols, and this is Monday Minute. Monday Minute is a place where we get your week started off with a quick Bible study, and currently we're going through our Women of the Bible series. So if you're new here, go check out some of the previous videos, but if you've been here before, you know what time it is, and it's time to get your week started off with some of that biblical authority. Come on! Let's get started. In the last two episodes, we've talked about Moses' mother, Jochebed, and Moses' sister, Miriam, and their major influence in the Old Testament. Well, in this episode, we're going to be talking about some lesser-known women that are tied to the story of Moses, and they're known as the daughters of Zelophehad. There were 5 daughters of Zelophehad, and FYI, I'm totally going to butcher these names. There was Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And before we read about the story of the daughters of Zelophehad, we actually see that Moses had been given instruction by God on how to divide up the inheritance of the promised land. But these 5 women had a unique situation outside of God's instruction. Their father, Zelophehad, had actually died in the wilderness, and he didn't have any sons. Side note, let's remember in this time period that women actually had very little rights in society, and all inheritance was passed down through the males of the family. So these 5 women go before Moses, the priests, the leaders, and the entire assembly that had gathered for a meeting, and they brought their situation to Moses and all these men. You know that took some guts. They proposed that the inheritance that would have been given to their father should actually be given to them instead. Now God had already given instruction to Moses on how to divide the inheritance up amongst all the people, but this situation fell outside of that instruction. Now Moses actually could have just moved on along and forgotten all about it, but instead he actually went straight to God to get an answer. God said, they are right. You should give them the inheritance. Say what? The faith and boldness of these 5 women actually set a precedent and exceeded the legal rights for women, not only just for them, but the entire nation of Israel. But this isn't the end of their story. In Numbers 36, we actually see the family heads of the clan of Gilead actually bring up these 5 women to Moses and all the other leaders again. They said that if these 5 women actually marry outside of their tribe, then the land inheritance, you know, the one that they had gained in the earlier part of this story, and their land inheritance would go with them to the other tribe. But we need to remember that God actually had a specific allotment for each and every tribe. So then comes God with a command to Moses. God always has this perfect timing down, doesn't he? And God said that they were free to marry anyone within their own tribe so that no land would be transferred in between the tribes. We see that the women actually complied and they married within their own tribe. Once again, we see these 5 women actually set a standard of legal rights for the entire nation of Israel. So does God think that women should have legal rights within a male-dominated society? I'll let what God clearly spoke in the story of the daughters of Zelophehad actually answer this question. Thank you for joining this episode of Monday Minute. I'd ask if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with a friend. It greatly helps me out, so thank you. And be sure to tune in next week where we're going to be in the story of Rahab. But until then, get out there and make a difference in this world. You can do it. Come on, peace.